Hi, hello, welcome to Devon Monk's Works and Worlds. We are on Monday Monk. I never know what number we're on. 111? Are we about there? Monday Monk 10111 or 112? Somewhere right there. Low teens of the hundreds. And I would like to thank you very much for joining me today and for spending a little time with me. I'm going to cover what I usually cover, which is how are things going in writing, knitting, and Monkland in general. And that should be pretty fast today because I don't know if I have a lot to say. I have a little bit to say. So let's see what we do here. So let's just start with how is writing going. Writing is going well. I am in the middle of finishing off Nursery Crimes to release it as its very own book. It is a noir fairy tale, humorous, pun-filled, silly book, and I'm very excited to be able to share it. That will be coming out still, I think. I know we are almost at the end of June, or it feels like it, but it's really going to come out just in a couple weeks. So hopefully real soon, and I'll be able to tell you on the next Monday Monk that it's out or going to be out and give you links to it. I'll try to do that. So writing is going well. I'm working on that. I'm also working on re-releasing the House of Mortal books. Right now, you can still get them in paperback because the original publisher has it's complicated, but it's part of the contract, and they still have mass market paperbacks available, so they can still sell those. So that is still available in mass market paperback size, which is, here, let me pull one down. It's this size. This is still available in this size book from the original publisher, which is Ace Rock Books or Penguin Random House. But those are going to be coming out in ebook again, and I'm going to be putting them out in ebook, which is part of the fun thing about being able to indie publish some of your stuff is I got rights back to those, which means I get to put them out again. And I'm working with the cover artist on the covers right now. Very fun, very exciting. To do the covers, I had to go back and reread all the books because the last one, Crucible Zero, was published in 2015, and I'd forgotten, like, not just the details, but like kind of the plot. I mean, I knew I wrote the books. I remembered the characters kind of, and basically what happened. And if somebody stuck me on a panel and said, talk to us about those books, I could have said like, yeah, I was kind of going for this in them and that is kind of in them. But the actual specific, how did the books turn out after, the last came out in 2015. So almost 10 years, right? 15 to 2, yeah. And, how much I've changed as a writer, how many books I've written since them. I have written series and series of books since those came out. And so to go back and read it again, older work of mine, it was kind of fun. Like, I don't say that every time, but I kind of had fun reading it. There's things I would change a little bit, and I might go in and mess with it just a tiny bit, but not like the Shaman Tarek books. I messed with those really a lot, the first and second book. Although readers have said that it feels like they're the same books as what were originally put out, just faster or cleaner or tighter. And that's really what I was aiming for with the Shaman Tarek books. I did add stuff, but it's invisible because it carries the same mood as what the original books carried. So if I had taken out a paragraph, I was able to put that same mood or that same emotion or that same action in with a much shorter sentence. So it just tightened those books up. I'm not going to do that at all with the House of Mortal books, partly because there's time travel involved in these books, and I do not want to poke a hole in something that isn't, as far as I know, doesn't have very many holes. And time travel, working with science fictional concepts like that, they're tricky. They're hard to balance. And I don't want to go in there guns a-blazing and start adding stuff into the books that just throws it completely out. But I did have fun rereading them. I did that so that I could help guide the cover artist to what we're sort of looking for the covers. And we'll see what we come up with. I'm excited to be able to share them when I get that all figured out and the artist gets it all worked on. And fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So that's going along. Those will be out. I'm not sure if those are going to be out at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, but they're going to be coming out here pretty soon because, like I said, the text itself doesn't need really much work. I did find a couple typos that I'm going to go in and fix. So yeah, that's how writing is going right now. And I haven't been working on Wayward Devils right now because I've been trying to get Nursery Crimes together. So that project is slightly on hold, but that's still coming out this year as far as I can tell. Okay, so then so that's writing. How is knitting going? Same old, haven't knit, still not knitting. And I've started crocheting a second vest, and I have started it 5 times, and I have ripped it out 5 times. So 6 times the charm. So I'm going to start it again probably tonight and just see if I can get it's the centerpiece is a little more complicated, and I'm a baby crocheter, folks, baby. So I need to take my time and get all the way through the challenging part, all the way from the beginning to the end of the challenging part, instead of doing what I've been doing, which is like, there, I got it. I know right where I am in the pattern. It'll be fine. I can come back in 4 days and I'll know exactly where I am and just pick it up like that. No, I do not know where I am in 4 days. I am completely lost in the swamp, and I just have to rip it all out and start again. So I need to get from the beginning of where that pattern begins and get it all the way through to the part where it takes off and becomes what I know, which is what I did on the other vest that I made. So crocheting is what I'm working on, and we'll see how it goes. I will keep you up to date on that too. So that's knitting, sort of. So writing and knitting. And then how are things going in Monkland in general? Oh my gosh, it's just been very busy. Hubby and I have finished digging out the front, what we're calling the front rose bed, because we used to have roses in it. And that was a dig, folks. We sweat our butts off doing that. And thank goodness he knows how to swing a an axe with that, like what you see in the miners, like the Seven Dwarfs use, that kind of a thing that, in the mine. We had to do that to break up the dirt, even though it was supposed to be relatively soft. We had so many river rocks at the bottom of the bed, that it was really hard to do the bottom of the bed. And we thought, boy, if that's what the rest of the bed is going to be like, this is going to be a very painful project. But the rest of the bed was a little easier because of how it laid. We didn't have to go as deep into it, and all of that layer of soil was softer. So we got it all out of there. We're very excited. So the next step will be, because I've been watching YouTube videos about how to do this, the next step will be putting down that fabric, what's it called? Weed abatement fabric, and then gravel, and then sand, and then flagstones, and then whatever pebbles and rocks around that. And then we can put flower pots on top of it. And you're saying, but Devon, you just dug up all the flowers. Why are you putting flowers back in it? And this is why I still want flowers out there. I just don't want to weed that massive bed. So my husband got in it. Like, I'm the one who usually weeds that bed. He takes care of other big parts of the yard, but that's always my kind of pet peeve. I'm always out there trying to fix that bed and make it look good. And he got in there digging with me. He's like, this is a big bed. I'm like, it is a big bed. Like, it's just so much. So we're excited that we're simplifying, and that we're still going to have flowers and wildflowers and roses in that bed, just on the bed, on top of the stones in flower boxes, instead of in the bed with all the weeds that are very difficult to pull out. So that's a good project that's going forward. What else have we been doing? Oh boy. Helping out some family members with their yards, with the backyards and the flower beds and stuff, kind of getting I pulled a lot of ivy recently. I'm allergic to ivy, English ivy, so I didn't put on I usually wear an N95 mask, and I didn't at the beginning, and so I had an allergy basically reaction for about 4 days. I know I'm supposed to put the mask on. I didn't put the mask on. I did late, but then it was too late. And so let's see, we took out, I think, did I talk about this? We took out ivy and holly and blackberries and grass and weeds and stuff, and got that looking really nice. And then the other thing, and this is pretty exciting, and I probably should have led with it, but I'm going to finish with it. I got to be a part of a kind of a paranormal investigation. And I'm saying kind of because really what it was for was for pulling out paranormal investigative gear and talking about the process of how you look to find out if there's anything beyond, your normal senses in the area, what the processes are for that, what the equipment might be to find that out. And I did this with my brother, Daryl, from Under the Oregon Moon. I'll put a link down below. My two brothers are paranormal investigators, and they're into high strangeness and UFOs and Bigfoot and spirits and all that kind of thing. And they used to have their own paranormal investigating crew, their team, and so they've done this a lot, but I have never done it. I've watched their results, and I've talked to them about it, and I was on their show, and my brother Daryl's been on my show, but I haven't ever actually done any kind of paranormal investigation myself. So I'm a complete noob, an absolute rube when it comes to all of the equipment and the procedures, like how you do this kind of thing. But why I was even doing that this weekend, looking at the equipment and trying to understand how this goes, is because I have been invited by my brothers to go down to a historic landmark, and we are going to be allowed by the people there, the owners and the people who look after it, to do investigations, paranormal investigations in that area. And I will tell you more about that next week. And then I will tell you about how it went after that. So we're going, not next week, but I'm going to tell you where it is next week. And then I will tell you the results if we get any results. But to do this, to get my hands on the equipment and understand how to do this, my sister said, well, we can go down to her house and we can do a little work down there to see how one would do this with this equipment. And so we did. And so I got to be a part of it. And I've got to say, this kind of stuff is always a little spooky to me, in that I'm a little hesitant about it, because I know there can be things that happen that feel pretty irrefutable. They're very difficult to explain away by any logical means. And then when you have exhausted logic, what's left? Something happened that you cannot explain, right? And so I got to go down there and be a part of what we did. And I'm not sure if I should share what happens, but I'm going to tell you, there was an experience that was very exciting that happened. And I'm going to have to check with my sister to see if she'd be okay with me sharing it, because it's her home. And I don't know if she feels comfortable with me sharing the story. Maybe. Do you feel comfortable? Are you watching this video? You want me to share it? I'm not sure. But if you do, I'll share that next week. But some of the equipment that we were able to use was EMV meters, which just records with little lights, like, red on this or green. It goes all the way up to red. Little light bulbs on a little. I don't know what it is. Like, it looks like a TV controller or something like that. It's that picks up electromagnetic, so basically electromagnetic changes, and we really didn't get anything off of that. We had it out, and we're kind of, my brother was showing me how it works and why it works and how to use it and all that stuff. We used that. We used something called a trip line, I think it's called, which was very exciting. And then we used something, a laser light that had a spray of lasers, so that you could catch if anything broke that light, which nothing did, but that was cool. And then digital recorders, and then we also used something called it's called the Spirit Box, or it's called the, I'm not sure that I'm saying this right, Estes system. I'll have to find out what that said, how that said. But anyways, I got to try that too, and I think that was the most. They were all interesting to me. Like, I was very excited to see, let's have one of these lights go off. Let's have something really exciting, really, I don't know, like obvious, like something really obvious happened. And I've got to say, something really obvious happened that none of us could explain, and we all experienced it at the same time. And we haven't found a way to explain it. So, and we've sat there and thrown ideas at each other about what could have made this happen, and we haven't come up with any answers. But it was a really fun experience to get my hand on the equipment, to be a part of the process, and I feel like I see why people like it. It's really an interesting thing to do, and I wasn't ever sure if it would be something that I would be interested to do, because I'm afraid of dark corners and spooky things. And well, as a little kid, I kept my feet under the covers because there are monsters under the beds, and there's monsters in the closets. I mean, they're everywhere, right? So, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, do you really want to go, knocking on when the things go bump in the night, do you really want to knock back, But it was really interesting. And we didn't actually even do the investigation before nightfall. So it was still kind of light out. And, yeah, I see why you get hooked on this. It is a intriguing experience. You are intrigued by it. It is a mystery, and it is a mystery that you get to be a part of. And that feels really, it creates a unique experience. It's something that may only happen that one time, but you got to be a part of it. And so I can see why people really like this. And I'm very, very excited to get to be a part of the investigation that'll be happening in a few weeks at the Oregon landmark that I'll talk to you about in a future Monday Monk. But anyway, that's it. That's probably what's been going on. The very exciting part is as we did that little investigation and had some results that were very exciting. I will find out if I can share those results with you, if that's okay with everybody involved. And otherwise, check out Under the Oregon Moon. Again, I have a link to it down below. My two brothers put on, they live stream a show every once in a while, every couple months, recapping all of the information. They've gone on interesting ghost hunts, including up in Alaska and in Romania. And so check out their channel. And in the meantime, yeah, hang in there. I hope you're having a good summer so far. We are having mild weather, although we are also having rainstorms, and we are also having hot days. And so it's kind of been fun, but it's been a good summer here so far. Until next time, dear friends, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.